Today I want to talk with you about how to turn your negative thoughts into positive ones. First thing, very important, is to become aware of your thoughts. How do you become aware of your thoughts? By listening to your body, your emotions, and your thoughts. When you are making any action and thoughts come up, you sense them. Usually you let them go and run the show, but from now on I invite you to stop them before they start running the show. Whenever you catch them, and you are gonna sense it through your emotions, through how you are feeling. You might be all the day calm, maybe you are doing your habitual activities, maybe you are at work or cleaning the house, and you can sense that there have been a shift in your emotions and thoughts, and you started thinking about something that make you usually feel anxious or worried or stressed or frustration. You might have remembered something in the past that you ruminated about, that you regretted, that made you feel bad. You might feel regret about it, guilt, shame, frustration because it didn't went the way you wanted to do. And this is one of the ways you have your negative thoughts running the show. Another way might be by thinking and worrying about the future, what will happen. And unfortunately, when we think of it, most of us, we are gonna think about the worst case scenarios. And we are going to start planning and considering all the ways, all the bad, negative ways it's going to happen. So this is also a way to get spiraled and trapped in the negative thoughts, and by consequence also the negative emotions that go with it. And if we do not catch it and become aware of it, it can last all the day, sometimes for days, months, years, to become part of us, part of our personal reality. So first thing is to become aware of it. As I said, you say it by observing. You stop and let the sensation be felt, let the emotion arise, let the thought be heard about you instead of just thinking and generating all the scenarios and the images on your mind. Number two, start exploring them. You can start observing and questioning them. What am I feeling, for example? Why am I feeling it? Name the emotion, name the feeling. Am I feeling anxiety? Am I feeling worry, frustration, guilt, anger? Name the emotions that you are feeling. Identify it, recognize it, and give it a name. This is a way to distance yourself from it, to make space between you, because usually when we are feeling emotions, we identify with them. They become like our identity. Usually, if you noticed, we do not say, I feel hurt. We usually say, I am hurt. Paul, you make me feel. You make me act. But actually, the truth is that we are feeling this emotion because of what we are seeing in the other person or the other behavior or something that happened. Nobody is coming to feed us with emotions or feelings or to feed us with reactions. This is our way to react and to respond to what happened to us. This is how we identify with things. This is how we connect and interact with life and circumstances around us to make them sound as an experience, because everything in life actually is neutral. It's meaningless up until the moment we observe something, we consider it relevant for our reality, and we give it a meaning. And how do we give it the meaning? By a story we tell ourselves about it, and in this story we are going to ignite it with emotions. The role of emotions in this case is to somehow, I would describe it as an alarm system that we plant in ourselves to help us in the next time we have a similar experience or circumstance to reignite those emotions. So if we are having good emotions in the experience we are having, it's gonna generate more adrenaline and happiness and joy around that circumstance. So if we see a similar experience to that in our future, we are gonna be happy to do it again, because we remember through our sensations and emotions how it felt the first time. So we are gonna be excited to do it again, more and more and more. Same thing for the negative emotions. In this case, they are helping us to memorize and archive those memories to protect us for the future. For example, if you have been birthed when you were a kid or in any moment of your life, you might in the future be more aware and more pay more attention when you see fire around you. You are gonna develop a more intensified awareness and alertness about anything who have to do with fire, because of course your body wants to protect you from it in the future. So the emotion that arises when you see the danger, the potential dangers, because you've already experienced it, this danger is going to generate emotions like fear, the sensation that you want to escape or run from it to avoid it, and anger, for example, if it's something that in the past have been a crossed boundary for you, disrespect for you. So whatever is going to be similar to it, you are going to be alert. Your body and your emotions are going to tell you, be careful, this is something similar, we are already preparing, and it's up to you today to choose whether to escape it again, to face it, or to treat it in a different way. But the first instinct, the first reaction we have is going to be to run away from it. Same thing with our thoughts. Nowadays, actually, we do have those fears and those negative thoughts, even though they really aren't that rational. Maybe in the past, with our ancestors, it might have sense, or with our grandparents, if they lived in wars or in difficult situations and challenges, it makes sense for them today to develop it. And we inherited it in an unconscious way, in a subconscious way too. So sometimes we are gonna feel threatened or preoccupied by something without even knowing with a reason. But it's very, very subconscious and deep. This is our body, loving body, trying to protect us for all the future events that are similar to one that have been experienced in the past, to protect us. When we explore them now, we are going to try to understand why are we feeling them. You don't have to figure it all out and to understand what childhood trauma or what ancestral thing have happened to you. We are not on that deep situation, and what we are trying to work with now is those negative emotions that come to poison our day, to ruin our day, and make us feel bad with actually no rational reason. Because in the present moment, usually it's not that the danger or the negative thoughts we are having about something is happening right now. We are just worrying, anticipating, assuming the worst will happen to us. When we distance ourselves from it and we become aware of it, we explore it and we question it to understand what are we feeling, why are we feeling it, what thought or emotions are we having and why we are having them. This helps us even more to distance ourselves from these emotions. We are going to become the observer, the neutral observer, trying to understand the situation and to understand what thoughts or feelings or emotions arised when it came up in our mind. Once this happened and we explored it, we move to the next part, the number 3, where we are going to try to understand and question the relevance of the thought, the negative thought or emotions we are having. We are going to try to understand if it really makes any sense for us, if it's productive for us and relevant to stay in this feeling and to stay in this emotion. Most of the time, if you have noticed, our negative thoughts are related to either the past or the future. They are never related to the present moment. Most of the time we think about moments of the past, memories comes up in our mind, and with those memories, emotions arise: sadness, anger, regrets, resentment, guilt, shame, frustration. We stay with that moment without even consider it if it does have any sense to feel it in that moment or to think about it. Same thing for the future. As I said previously, we also have the tendency to assume a worst case scenario for our future. If we are worried about our job or worried about our relationship, about money, about a friend, our health, we will tend to assume the worst and start to worry about it from now, when usually in the right now maybe we are not in that case, and it doesn't have to be that way. We don't have to really worry about it and to try to figure it out from now and here where we are right now. First, it's not 100% going to happen the way we are assuming it. And second, it's not productive because we are already hurting ourselves and causing ourselves a lot of damage from now up until that moment that we are not even sure about, because there is no guarantee of future or guarantee that what we are thinking will happen exactly the way we think it. It might also happen in a better way for us. So why bother from now investing our energy and our thoughts and our emotions in something that isn't happening, or something that already happened, that we cannot change, we cannot control? We can only in this moment try and to choose wisely how to consider it and how to live in this moment. What to do from now, what are we capable to do from now in order to be calm and stable right now, because it's important how we are feeling now, how we are thinking now, how we are experiencing things, and how we are responding to life. This is just to invite you, when you are asking yourself if it's relevant, to also consider that it's not an absolute truth what we are thinking. It's in our mind, and our mind and our brain might be experiencing it as reality, because remember, our brain do not differentiate what is real and what is it imagined, what is in our mind and what is the true reality. It will react the same way. So if you are worried or scared about the future, guess what? Your mind and your body are gonna be reacting to that. They are gonna using all their energy to protect you for here and now, when actually there is nothing. So when you are about to think about things, negative things, if it could be helpful for you to consider that you are harming yourself in the now for something that didn't even happen and maybe will never happen, for the sake of yourself and the love for yourself, when you stop and start considering your negative thoughts and how to shift them, use one of the motivations for you, your love for yourself and for your body that are handling you and taking care of you all day long, and do not give them more stress and more things to work on that are not even relevant. This could be a good way for you to remember when you are having your negative thoughts, to be self-love and self-care to yourself, and show it to yourself, and respect your body and your brain, and don't give them and overload them with things that aren't relevant and do not really exist. Do it from love and worry for your body and your mind. This is something, for at least for me, that helps me. Whenever I am in this negative thought spiral, I consider my body and my mind and my brain, and I say, honestly, I do not have to overload them with all of this. They already have a lot to do for me without even asking. So how can I shift it? How can I improve it? How can I remove these charges from them? Asking myself if it's relevant to have those negative thoughts on that moment is very helpful, because it allows me to understand and to question whether what I am thinking and feeling is absolute truth and the only way to think and consider things, or are there other options? And guess what? There is not only one truth. We do not perceive the world as it is. We perceive it as we are, as we think, and we can change who we are. We can change our thoughts and our emotions because we are in control of them. We might not be in control of the past. We cannot change it. We cannot come back, unfortunately. We can change the meaning the past have had for us. We can, instead of going in the past in negative thoughts and regrets about what happened, we can start to turn back to our past to see what lesson can we learn from it. What thing we can improve in ourselves, in our relationships. Because every past experience is not here only to hurt us or to remind us of how bad of a person we are. I think it has a much deeper role in our life. It is here to really provide us with insights, with wisdom, and with lessons. It's a way to teach us how to deal with our present and future. Because resentment, regret, guilt, and shame, honestly, they are legitimate emotions. But if they are gonna keep you trapped in a negative way of seeing life and interacting with yourself and others and your life, this is not healthy. It's not helpful and it's not productive. You need to really find a way to move on in life in a constructive way. This is at least what I do whenever I have had past experiences. I used to be really in the regret and the remorse and replay it in my mind for days and nights and try to see what happens wrong, what was wrong with me, how can I do it better, who to blame, is it necessarily me? Maybe sometimes I don't even love to be vulnerable and acknowledge that I might have made my own mistake, I have my own responsibility. But I found out that it wasn't at all useful. It doesn't bring you anywhere, it just makes you stuck where you have been. And for now, you are different. What happened to you in the past really changed you. Now the choice is yours to either make a positive and constructive change for yourself or maintain it negative and remain stuck on that identity of you that no longer exists. Because we change constantly in every second of our life through everything that we learn and we move on, we hear, listen, see, experience, we feel especially, we really are changing and evolving. So we either are gonna evolve positively and in a productive way for ourselves, or we are gonna remain on that point all our life when it doesn't make any sense to remain there. So if you made mistakes, say sorry and apologize, make amends for what you've done. If you are recognizing something and grateful for something, express it and let it go. If you are frustrated or angry about anything, just take the time to consider from that moment of anger or frustration, how can you move on in a healthier way for yourself? If you need to set new boundaries for yourself or for others, express them in a healthy way instead of staying there to ruminate and blame that person that maybe hurt you in the past. Today, set to yourself your boundaries and learn to communicate them in a healthy way. Learn to say no to what do not serve you. Learn to say yes to what is healthy for you and exchange it with others. Learn and move on. In the point 3, we asked ourselves if that was absolute truth. And I'm sure it's not the only way. There is not only one option. There are many options. It only depends on how opened are our minds. That's the only question. And we can open our minds once we start questioning, when we start doubting. So we're going to shift in the doubt from the self-doubt and worry into the curiosity, the positive constructive doubt. When you are doubting and thinking, it's not the only truth, it's not the absolute truth, this is my truth, this is how I interpreted things, and I can interpret it in different ways. I can give it different meanings. I can choose if I want to give it positive or negative meanings, or maybe neutral. Not all the time we need to give it a very happy, positive ending or a very negative, sad ending. We can choose to be neutral sometimes. It's more healthy and constructive. It's fine. You observe it, you analyze it, you question it, you understand it. You know that it's not the absolute truth. So now what? What can I do right now? This is number 4. What can I do about this present moment that can make me move from that negative thought? So if I'm worrying about the past or the future, what can I do about it now? Can I change the future? The answer is no, because it doesn't even happen. Or the past? Can I control what's going to happen? Can I define exactly every outcome in my life? If I plan every step from here to the 40 years from now ahead, am I going to be able to control it? No. You cannot control anything. We cannot change the past or the future. Up until now, we do not have proof that it's possible. I don't think it's possible. And it's only in our memories and our mind. We have a memory for the past and we have a memory for the future based on the past. But does the future have to be similar to the past? That's a good question to ask ourselves. Does it have to be identical? No. What we experienced is what we knew. The future is unknown. And this is maybe the thing that pushes us to be nurturing negative thoughts and worries and emotions. The unknown, because we are used to stay in the familiar and what we know. When we step into the unknown, it is scary. But every change happens in the area of the unknown. It doesn't happen in the area of the familiar and the known. This is what we call our comfort zone. We know it, we already know how to move in it. We can predict our future to a certain stage, of course, because nobody can predict the future 100%. But when we are acting based on our past experience, we were gonna more or less repeat the same things. Well, in this case, you are right to worry. Because if you didn't like your past experiences and you wanna move to something new and different, you do have the right to worry about it. I do as well. But I do not sit there for very long. I try to transform it into something constructive for me. I try to pick up the lessons, what I prefer, what I don't prefer, because it's helpful in that case. You stop and figure out what are these negative sensations. This negative sensation is something that I don't want to experience anymore in my life. So how can I move to a new life where I do not have it, where I do have something that I prefer more in my life? And be curious and open-minded. So this is something I can do right now. Instead of staying for hours in worrying about the future in my bed, crying or outside or drinking to forget and try to cope with it, I can do it in a better way. I invite you to consider it if you haven't yet. It's to start more thinking about your options, what you can do to open your mind to the new possibilities, to be excited about it instead of being anxious and worried about what if the same thing that happened in the past repeat again and get worse. What if everything happens well? What if I open my mind to the unknown with curiosity? What if I start learning new things about myself, the possibilities that are around me, and what the future may offer me? There are a lot of evidence of truths that are very different from ours, much positive and brighter than ours. Why don't we go to explore them? Instead of sitting in this negative thought that is really not constructive or relevant, it's not useful for us, it's not giving us any benefit, it's even ruining our body and our brain. Not only our thoughts, but it's affecting everything around us, even our reality and our environment. Why don't we instead focus on looking for evidence of what we really prefer and what we want, to nurture our dreams and goals, to nurture our passions and to explore them? What can I do in this moment right now instead of staying in this spiral of negative thoughts? Is there anything else that I prefer doing? Maybe I prefer to read a book on self-help, or a love story, or to watch a beautiful movie or a TV series. Anything that can nurture my soul and give her more positivity and joy. By following a passion, I don't know, take a paper and draw, write, watch a YouTube video, listen to a podcast, go for a walk, go to dance, call your friends, go for a coffee. Whatever it is that can nurture your soul and mind, go and do it. Don't stay in this negative state. Don't stay too long for it. Just acknowledge it, explore it, ask if it's relevant. If it's not, move to what you can do right now. And maybe like me, you are in a period of your life where you are making a lot of changes in your professional life. I'm having a lot of changes. I am a precarious situation, professional situation. And if you are like me, you can understand how frustrating it is because you are unstable. And this instability affects everything around you. It's really challenging as emotion. It's really difficult to not think about if this job is ending and I'm not yet finding the new job and I have to look for the new job. You are in a challenging situation because you really have no idea what's going to happen next, and you really have to figure out to find a new job, to find new income, to find a solution, because if the end of the month you don't have the job and they do not renew your contract, worst case scenarios are going to arise in very, very strong ways that it's really challenging to stop, become aware of them, and move on from there. Well, in these cases, for me, for example, what I do is I sit with it. I sometimes even write about it. For example, yesterday I've had this experience. I was really worried. My contract will end in a month and I have no idea if they are going to renew it. This is what precarious job situation conditions are. You do not know when will end your contract. You do not know if they are going to renew it or not. And you have to, meanwhile, a month or two before, to just start worrying about the next job. So I can basically tell you that my life in the last 3 years, since I left my job because I wasn't happy there, I quit it and I moved to finding a job that is in alignment with me, that is more satisfying, where I can feel fulfilled, have been my new mission in life. I don't want to be just settling for any job, any pay, just to survive. But in the precarious world and conditions, job conditions, it's not easy to stay on that place. You really need to work on yourself and to be self-aware, to try to, and to not only to try, sorry, I hate this word, we're not trying, we are doing. You must act to be aligned and to be stable anyway. And in these challenging periods, what I do is really focus on understanding what I really want instead of worrying Okay, what I really want, I dress up my profile, my skills, my competences, what I want to do, what I know how to do, where I can be of value of others. And I look only for things that are oriented into what I want, what my skills are. And lately, yesterday, I have been in a great anxious moment. I really felt my heart is gonna jump out of my chest. It was a big moment of anxiety where I felt like I really wanted to quit everything, to cry my heart and my blood out of me, and to just live this life or just live this condition, stop it all. If there was a button that says the end, I would be glad to do the end. I really was, it was in a very bad, very awful place. But with what I know today, thankfully, I became aware of it. I stopped and I said, now I am having so many negative thoughts and emotions, and that is not productive. I am feeling them because I am afraid of what will happen next. So I'm worrying about the future, and I'm worried that it's going to be like the past or even worse. And honestly, it's not the only way things can work. The way I know things work is not valid for me anymore, because I'm stepping into a new identity and a new mindset. And I don't have it all figured out. I'm just starting and taking my actions one step at a time. So what can I do right now is, first of all, analyze my emotions and feelings, honor them, give them their space, and distance myself from them because they do not identify me. So I took my journal and I wrote down what I was feeling, what was the situation, what I was afraid of. I made a long list where I wrote everything on the paper. And then I stopped and I started considering what I can do now, what productive things I can do right now, what action may I take right now. So I know that I am looking for jobs. I already prepared my curriculum. I already am postulating in job positions, and I am in a great place. I'm also working on my emotions. I am self-aware, so everything is right. For now, I do have a job for this month and the month of May, so there is no reason to be that much worried. I prefer to be enjoying my job now, giving my best to the customers, and acting in a calm way to always maintain my mental stability and balance. This is very important for me. So that's what I did. I did all these steps: become aware, explore, ask myself if it's relevant or absolute truth, or if there is another way to see it. I started opening my mind to that. I know that I will not have all the answers. I know that I'm not in control of the future, but I know that I can trust that everything will be all right. What I can do right now is just, sometimes it's good to surrender, to let go, to just trust, do what I can do right now from where I am and with what I have, because the present moment is also precious. I don't want to be wasting it in other uncertain things, irrelevant, that are not productive, and I don't want to be hurting my body and my brain anymore. I want to just offer them all the love, compassion, and attention they deserve, because they are taking care of me from the day to the night. They take me for walks, they see, they feel, they move, they eat. It's an amazing body that I am grateful to have, and a brain that I'm grateful to have. So I want to cherish them and take care of them instead of torturing them with my mental negative thoughts and worries that often aren't even relevant for my present moment and are not constructive and productive moreover. I choose to really focus on what can be relevant and productive instead of torturing myself and harming my body, and maybe also the people around me to whom I will project all those negative emotions and thoughts. I choose to be aware of it, to explore it, and to shift it when it's necessary, and act in the here and now with what I have and where I am. Sometimes just taking a walk can help me, because it not distract me, because I think that negative thoughts are the distraction. It take me back to the present moment where everything happens, where the magic happens, where the beautiful ideas might happen, the right advice, the right job opportunity can happen to me. In the worries, I will not see them. I will be in the fog and I will not be able to see with clarity what are the options for me and the opportunities, and especially the synchronicities that life can bring to my life. So if you can, in the right now, sit with yourself, for example, and you don't know what to do right now, I invite you to do, at least for myself, it's working, to remind myself that what I can do right now is to take care of myself, to honor my negative emotions and thoughts, because they are there to signal me something where I need to grow, something that I want to change and need to change in order to move to my next step of my life. It's inviting me to step out from my comfort zone to the unknown in a positive way. It's inviting me maybe to reconsider my definition sometimes, to reconsider my thoughts, to check if they are coming from me or from all this world around me and my subconscious, and to redefine it and shift it when it's really not relevant for me. So in other words, if I can't do anything right now, it's irrational, I can let go and consider more constructive thoughts. I can use the gratitude for what I have, for where I am, for at least the clarity that I have today, to be able to see clearly what I do not like and prefer in my life, to have more clarity about where my negative thoughts are coming from, and to be able to filter what serves me and what do not serve me, and to be able to choose from now on what to keep and what to let go of, and to shift and to embrace the unknown. This is already something to be grateful for, in addition to your health, to your homes, to your shelters, to the food that you have, to the air that you breathe. You do have plenty of unconditional love and blessings that we do have around us all. So enjoy them, be grateful for them, and focus on that instead of focusing on negative thoughts, especially if the irrational, non-constructive and productive thoughts. Because if it's rational and productive, sit with it. Do not let it define you. Sit with it, observe it, explore it, and see how you can make something constructive from it in the here and the now. If you cannot, you cannot. You cannot decide what the future in 10 years is going to be. You can only assume it and imagine it. And since you are imagining, why not imagine something more beautiful? And be open to what the life can offer you. Because it's either going to be a blessing, a lesson, a new thing to consider, somehow to grow and to expand. Here are my takeaways from today, and I would like to hear also your takeaways from the exchange of this video. First of all, that everything is either happening to me or for me. This is something that I am able to choose. I realize that I am the one that choose what meaning am I gonna extract from the experiences I have in my life. So I choose honestly to see the brighter side of everything. I choose to recognize and admit and accept that everything that happened in my life is really happening for me, to serve me, to teach me a lesson, to make me a better version of myself, to open my mind, to get me closer to what I want, and to help me be more relatable and able to support others, my family, friends, or whoever in this world, with my knowledge and my experiences. So I love to believe that everything happens for me and not against me. This is a mantra and a belief that I carry with me from years, and this is what have always helped me, and I'm sure it's somehow true that if we choose to see this life as a beautiful, enormous school where we are all learning, and we keep learning the lessons until we grasp the value of the lesson, so we can move on to the next one. It's like a game, stages of a game, where you need to pass the first stage to move to the next. And in each stage you are gonna have bonuses. And for me, my bonuses are at least the lessons that I learned, because they help me become more self-aware, more self-conscious, more loving for myself and others, more understanding, and this is already very liberating. It's an exploration, a funny exploration, and everything is happening for us, not to us. This is something that I consider when I want to shift from my negative thoughts to my positive thoughts. I would remind myself that whatever is happening in my life right now is happening for me. I'm excited about the lesson that it's gonna bring me, because there will be a lesson, there will be a value, and it's gonna be useful for the next future, for me or for others around me. It's gonna be always useful. There is always a beautiful, positive side on everything that happens for us. If this is how we choose to see things, if this is how we consider it. Second very important thing when it's about shifting from negative to positive emotions, my big takeaway is that it's not about what happened to us, it's about how we respond to it, what we are gonna do about it. If something happened to me in my life, any experience, negative or positive, it's not about the circumstance on itself, because it's an event, neutral event that happens. Now, the way I'm gonna react or respond to it is up to me. This is what is gonna define from that moment on how I'm gonna relate to that event and how I'm gonna live it. I can choose how to respond to any situation through my attitude, if it's positive or negative, through my way of thinking, through my mindset, through my self-awareness or lack of it. It's never about the circumstances outside of us. It's never about the people and what they are doing to us. It's always about how we are gonna react or respond to everything that happens around us. We are not in control of circumstances. Nobody is. We are in control of our state of mind and our attitude towards everything that happened to us. When you become aware of this, honestly, it's a big game changer. In any given situation that I have now, especially for example for now with my big challenge about the precarious job and to find my next job and myself in the professional area, it's helping me a lot to be in a place where I know that circumstances do not matter. My state of being does, and I can choose my state of being. I can choose how to respond and how to take things. I can choose if I want to see the bright side or the dark side. I can choose if I want to learn and move on, if I want to be resilient, or if I want to be if I want to see myself as a total failure and just let all go. This is all up to me. It's not up to anybody else. This is my responsibility. And it's good to know that we are not victims, we are responsible. We take our own decisions. We learn how to navigate things. It's up to us. The last takeaway that I would like to share with you is it's very good to remember that I let go of what I cannot control and focus on what I can control. And what I control is my attitude, what thoughts I am going to nurture in my mind and body, and what responses I am going to give to my life and my circumstances. So my attitude, my thoughts, and my responses to life are all mine. This is what I can control. So I let go of everything that I cannot control and I focus on what I can control. With that being said, I want to thank you for your time and for watching me. I hope it has been of value to you. I hope it's going to help you from now on to shift from your negative thoughts to your positive ones or neutral ones. It has been very helpful for me, and that's why I wanted to share it with you, because today I was in a very dark moment, and this is what helped me go through it and see the light and refine my joy and my balance and get back to a productive action. And I really hope it can be of help to anyone here. And if it's the case, just enjoy it and leave in the comment what are your takeaways. What do you think about those 4 steps to move from negative to positive thing, and share our experiences with us. I would love to hear from you. Again, thank you very, very much, and much love. See you in the next video.